Big shout out to Nightingale on TikTok and YouTube because he recently did a video about Gecko Moria, his warnings to Luffy in the pre-time skip, and how he will be now in the post-time skip after his longtime nemesis Kaido has been defeated by Luffy, the boy he warned about the dangers of the New World. So with that being said, another thing that he came to that I've also come to is that it's very likely that Moria will join Cross Guild. I mentioned that this is very reasonable because in a Viricard drop, there was a doodle of Moria presumably joining Cross Guild in the preliminary version of the Cross Guild poster. So this is a video pointing to that because I don't think that comment really suffices what I'm talking about. So here is the doodle that I'm mentioning, and I have to apologize in advance. There's going to be a filter over it because, you know, I don't know how these things are perceived by other parties. But in the doodle, it looks as though we have a figure that looks like Perona on one end of the poster, and then we have another figure who seems to have a long neck and some horns. But it's really rough. But I am going to go out on a limb and say, yes, this is Moria. So, yes, I think from the start, it was very much the idea that Moria and Perona were going to join Cross Guild initially. And I do still think that's going to happen, seeing as how Perona has aided in Moria escaping from Blackbeard's territory. So there's nowhere else really for her and him to go but to Cross Guild. Another thing that he brought up in his video, which I thought was a really cool idea because I've also mentioned that too in the past, that I do think Cross Guild is going to commandeer the entirety of Thriller Bark and make that their base, because in them being a organization that's going after Marines, it would make more sense for them to constantly be on the move so they can't track down one specific location to bombard, as they seem to be doing currently in the main story, as Seraphim, who have yet to be named, S Flamingo, S Crocodile, and S Gecko, I guess, are all going to Empty Bluff Island right now with a Marine entourage. So yes, I too do think that it is in their best interest for them to be in a big moving base. And I made a video about that. I'll post a link to that here on YouTube. With that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Paulipede Works It.